You're too soft for the life that you say you want, for the life that you keep on saying that you want. And there's a reason why most people never become who they know they should be. And it's never normally a lack of opportunity. It's definitely not a lack of information, and it's not even bad luck. It's comfort, weak standards, weak execution. Most people they want the outcome without becoming the person required to get that outcome. They want the body without the discipline, they want the money without the pressure, they want the confidence without the rejection, and they want peace without confronting them thoughts. That's why you stay stuck. And if I'm honest, most men today are nowhere near as hungry for what they say they want as they think they are. You say you want more from life, but you're still sleeping, you still scroll for hours every day, avoid hard conversations and numb yourself every weekend, and still quit every time things get uncomfortable. That's not hunger, that's fantasy. I'm talking about this fake hustle culture where everyone's posting on Instagram like they're training hard. I'm talking about that real intensity, the kind where you can't negotiate with yourself, the kind where your standards become non-negotiable day after day, because the truth is your life right now is a direct reflection of what you tolerate daily. Your body, your mind, your money, all of it. That's what alignment is. And that's why most people are misaligned. Your body's exhausted, your mind's chaotic, and your money is inconsistent. And then you wonder why you feel flat and depressed and down in the dumps all the time. Brother, your entire nervous system knows that you're living below your true potential. And that anxiety you feel, half the time it's not anxiety. It's self-betrayal. You said you'd train, then you didn't. You said you'd save money, but you spunked it all up the wall. You said you were going to start a business, and you didn't. You said you're going to stop escaping every night, and then scrolled until your eyes went square. And that's why your confidence has been disappearing. Because confidence isn't built from affirmations and positive thinking. It's built from your daily actions. You trust yourself when you regularly prove to yourself you're a man that follows through. And one of the biggest shifts in my life is when I developed something that I call maniacal urgency. Not panic, but urgency, and there's a difference. Panic is emotional chaos, but urgency is clarity. It's waking up and realising that if I keep living the way I've been living for another 5 years, I'm going to hate where I end up. And that thought and that feeling, that realisation changed my life, because there was a point in my life where everything was genuinely falling apart. Drugs, debt, self-hatred, and chaos in my head every single day. And from the outside looking in, most people wouldn't have known, because I kept a smile on my face. And on Instagram, I looked like I was winning. And that's the modern day trap that you keep falling into. You're slowly decaying, slowly getting softer, slower, more distracted, more numb, every year becoming less of your true capable self. And what makes it worse is you're convincing yourself it's normal, but it isn't. You weren't built to be mentally fried 24/7, to hate your body when you look in the mirror, and to dread Mondays and really only look forward to a Friday. That's dysfunction. And that's why having this maniacal urgency matters so much, because time's moving regardless. You're going to end up somewhere in 5 years' time regardless. So why not end up somewhere in 5 years' time that you've built day after day, brick after brick? Because you almost need to be delusional about your life to be able to build a great life, because everybody else is happy with average. Because if you believed your current circumstances showed you'd never make a move. Because when I was broke, addicted, and mentally all over the place, I judged my future purely based off my current reality, then I wouldn't have stayed there. But I believed that I could become more than the evidence was proving to myself. And I promise you that matters. Because a lot of men, yourself included, look to the future because they need that proof too early. You say to yourself that I'll believe in myself once it starts working. But that's wrong. You've got to believe in yourself before it works. That's what faith really is. And no, that doesn't mean being delusional without taking action. That's fantasy. Real belief comes from relentless effort plus the belief. And that's the part that nobody wants to hear, because most people dramatically overestimate how hard they work. One workout, then they need a rest day. One rejection, then they give up. One low view video, and then they spiral. Meanwhile, everybody else is quietly training, posting, learning, and compounding the results. And that person wins. Not because they're smarter, but because they stayed in the game of body, mind, money long enough for it to all be aligned and compound on itself. And this is where that ruthless intensity starts to come in. You need periods in your life where you're on the front forward attack. You need seasons where your standards rise aggressively, where you stop tolerating weakness from yourself. That doesn't mean becoming miserable, it means becoming intentional, because the average man today is drowning in distraction. constant dopamine, constant entertainment, constant distraction, and then wonder why they feel weak. Nobody can actually sit with their own thoughts anymore. Delayed gratification, focus deeply, and stay consistent long enough to become a force of nature. That's where journaling helped me massively, because it doesn't look aesthetic on Instagram. Because my mind was chaos. I had to be able to slow myself down, to be able to actually hear myself think. And that's where the clarity started to come from. And clarity changes everything in your life. Because once you become clear on what you want to become, who you want to be, then your decisions get easier. You stop eating random shit every day. You stop wasting money trying to impress people and start investing it. And you stop entertaining distractions that pull you away from your goals. Then your life becomes simple. That's alignment. Body, money, mind aligned. And you're just going to stay stuck until you accept that you've got to get everything in alignment, because ego destroys growth. And then you stop evolving, and that's why remaining teachable and coachable matters so much. You need to stay open enough to evolve, to constantly learn, constantly refine and adapt, not because you're insecure, because growth requires being humble, and a lot of men secretly avoid learning because learning exposes where they're weak. But avoiding weaknesses don't remove them, it just hides them temporarily. And eventually life exposes it all anyway, so you may as well face it head on and reveal it. The gym reveals you, business reveals you, relationships and love reveal you, loneliness reveals you. Discomfort shows you your current level and what you need to do to move forward and grow. Because if you looked around at your life right now, you'd see that yourself and most people are completely addicted to comfort. Food getting delivered, scrolling, excuses, escapism, then wonder why you feel dead inside. You can't live a deeply comfortable life and expect to become exceptional. Those two things cannot coexist. Growth requires friction. And here's the craziest part. Once you spend enough time in discomfort, it stops feeling scary and you can start to adapt. The thing you feared starts to become normal. That's why your standards matter so much, because your standards eventually become your identity. And a man who trains daily eventually sees himself as disciplined. And a man who builds daily eventually sees himself as capable, because he is capable. And a man who keeps his promises to himself and to others becomes confident in himself, real confidence. And the reason I speak so heavily about body, mind, money together is because they all leak into each other. When your body's weak, your mind suffers. When your mind's chaotic, your money suffers. And when your money's a mess, that stress affects your whole body. Everything's interconnected. That's why hyper-focusing on one area while completely ignoring the other ones creates misalignment. This is the real game, not becoming rich while mentally destroyed, not becoming fit while financially drowning, and not becoming successful while secretly hating yourself. I'm talking about the full package, and honestly, deep down, people already know exactly what they need to do. You know what you need to do and what you've been putting off, and that's the most painful bit about it. You already know the habits that are ruining your life, you already know where you're wasting your time, and you already know where you're playing small. You're just hoping life changes in a magical way without any real transformation and effort, but it won't. Your future is built through daily repeated action. Daily, not once. And when the motivation appears, I'm talking about right now in this moment, and if this video is hitting hard, then good, because modern culture has made people too soft, too distracted, too comfortable, and too emotionally reactive. And it's costing you years of your life. So I'm not going to stand here and tell you to take it easy. I'm telling you to wake the fuck up, because your potential is not guaranteed. Everybody's got potential. So the body you want, go and earn it. The mindset you want, go and build it. And the income you want, go and create it. Because nobody is coming to save you. But the beautiful thing is this. Once you finally take responsibility for your body, your mind and your money, your entire life starts to improve. Because now you're no longer reacting to your life. You're directing it. And if you're watching this knowing deep down you've been coasting and I've been talking directly to you in this video, then honesty is where the change begins. Raise your standards, increase your urgency, and get comfortable being uncomfortable, and stop wasting your potential trying to stay comfortable. And if this video is hitting, click the link in the description and go and do the alignment audit. It's free, it will take you less than 10 minutes, and it will show you exactly where you're leaking across body, mind, money, and what you need to do to get moving forward. Your raw truth. So click the link in the bio and go and do it, or comment the word align and I'll send it through to you. Let's go.